the Abigail funeral. It's inside of the thing.
Old South Meeting House.
You go back in the store and it says Abigail funeral. That's what this was doing. That's not what happened. Why is it?
My friends, I was hoping we could hear word back from our royal governor before tonight's proceedings, but unfortunately, we have not been graced with that word. I know it's very upsetting, my friend. So before tonight's meeting, a brief message of safety.
Ladies and gentlemen, and patriots from around the world, on behalf of the cast and crew, Historic Tours of America welcomes you to the Boston Tea Party Ships and Museum. Due to the unique nature of this attraction, there is some important safety information of which you should be aware. Please take note of the exit doors around you. In the event of an emergency, the door you just used to enter this assembly room leads back to Congress Street. Once you leave this room, you will be on a floating nautical environment. Please watch your step and use the handrails when boarding ships and using gangways. Should there be an emergency during your visit to the barge or ships, follow Rendezvous with History.
Welcome, welcome all to the Old South Meeting House. It's lovely to see 5,000 of you in attendance here on December the 16th, 1773. Now, for those who do not know me, my name is Miss Anna Roberts of the Roxbury Rebels, and well, you're more likely to know my uncle, who's Chief Justice and loyal to the King and Crown. However, my betrothed, Robert Sessions, has recently found employment here in Boston, in a custom house owned by the Davises. In fact, my own cousin Hannah married into the Davis family this past year, and by association. Two sons and daughters of Liberty. I've seen how their marriage has started to widen political gaps, and I do worry that the 340 chests of tea that arrived here may jeopardize my engagement and happiness. Now, for those who have never attended a town meeting, I do grant you a word of caution. It does no good merely sitting on your hands listening. You must be involved in your own politics, yes?
Hey!
So if you hear anything you agree with this night, feel free to let hear.
Hear, hear.
Or well said.
Well said.
You may choose to stomp your feet, or you could bang on the furniture. Or you might let out an exuberant yelp as huzzah, and there's a hand gesture in the courtyards. So make a fist, pull it back, thrust it into the heavens, and yell huzzah! There's bound to be issues this evening you will not agree with. And then those rise. Feel free to admit a boo or a hiss. Or you might choose to use a rather nasty word of fie, F-I-E. This rather rude hand gesture that coordinates. But don't worry, Mr. Vince, I'll teach you. So stick out your cup, place it on the end of your nose, raise the flag, wave the flag to renew whoever you wish to offend, and yell fie! Terribly rude, but we didn't come together to offend each other all evening. Speaking with us on this matter, he's an ardent patriot, friend to all, the leader of the Sons of Liberty, Mr. Samuel Adams. Huzzah!
Thank you for that spirited introduction, Miss Roberts. We are gathered here today to discuss yet another crisis forced upon us by Parliament, supposedly on behalf of our monarch, King George III. Boston Harbor lie 3 ships, the Eleanor, the Dartmouth, and the Rigby, beaver. Their holds fit to bursting with 340 crates of East India Company tea. Under the law, each of these vessels has 20 days to unload its cargo and pay the duty or the tax on tea. Tomorrow is the 20th and final day for the ship Dartmouth, making this body of the people all the more important. This is our final chance to effect these events in Armenia! Earlier this day, it was requested that the Dartmouth's owner, a man by the name of Francis Roach, should obtain word from our esteemed Royal Governor, Thomas Hutchinson. Why indeed, a man who abandoned the cause of the people years ago, yet he is the only one who can grant a pass, allowing these ships to return to England without offloading any of their pernicious cargoes. Mr. Roach left several hours ago. We await his return and cling to the hope that our governor will listen to reason. For if that cargo is offloaded, it shall be you, the people of Boston, forced to pay this unjust tax on tea. As we all know, this is not the first time Parliament has set forth taxes upon us, and without our consent. It was only 8 short years ago, 1765. Lord Grenville saw fit to tax our letters, our newspapers, all of our printed documents under the Stamp Act. Many were outraged by the Stamp Act. Many sent to the streets rioting and protesting. I am not the only one to be outspoken on this matter. Mr. Thomas Porter, what do you have to say, my friends?
Well, Parliament not only taxed our paper and ink, they even taxed our playing cards and dice.
Well said, Mr. Porter, and I know you're not just angry because of your gambling habits, yes? Well, tax on that, I do nothing to be ashamed about. We were told these taxes were to repay our debt to the French and Indian War. The debt I hold, we have paid 1,000 times over. Was it not our fathers, our brothers, many of us who fought alongside the King's Army during that conflict? If there were ever a debt to be paid, it was done so in blood, and that is good New England blood.
Hear, hear.
Blood is a price we've had to pay far too often in this town. Let us not forget those 5 innocent Bostonians who were gunned down on King Street in March of 1770. Massacred by the very British regulars sent here to protect our streets. Thanks to the work of my cousin John Adams, we gave those men a fair trial, and the entire 29th Regiment was soon recalled thereafter. But the recall of one regiment alone is not enough. I say nothing short of a total evacuation by all those bloody back troops to satisfy the public mind. And our cries, loud, valiant as they may be, are going unheard by those in Parliament. After the Stamp Act was repealed at the behest of our king, those greedy ministers in Parliament next saw fit to pinch our pure candlesticks. Lead, paint, glass, tea, all taxes under a man we thought was our friend in Parliament. No longer we to trust in Lord Charles Townsend. Mr. Porter's anger here is echoed by others as well, none more so than Mr. James Brewer. I heard your house needed new windows, but these taxes and glass, how did you manage to pay for them?
I did not pay for them. I was forced to choose between new windows or putting food in my family's belly.
Oh! Well said, Mr. Brewer. No father should have to make that choice, especially one as young as yourself. Fear not. In response to these outrages, the merchants of Boston banded together. We signed non-importation agreements stating that we would no longer buy or sell any of these unjustly taxed goods.
Hear, hear.
Many of the women of Boston, our daughters of liberty, joined in with non-consumption agreements, promising that these English goods would not enter their patriot. By your united efforts, your united resolves, we forced many of these Townsend duties to be repealed. All except one, that is the tax on tea. Now, if Lord North wishes to enforce this 3 penny per pound tax on tea to signify the supremacy of Parliament and its supposed right to tax us in the colonies, well, I say we have the right to demand representation there. Magna Carta of 1215, our colonial charter of 1691. Patriots, these are the very founts of our British liberties. They make it clear. No English subject can be taxed without the consent of their representatives. They participate taxes like Englishmen. Go to war, fight, die like Englishmen, and then we deserve the same basic rights as Englishmen. They strip us of our right to representation, and they have no right to force more duties upon us. We have no duty to pay. We must all cling to the spirited words of James Otis that echoed from State House Square, rang throughout these beloved colonies like a trumpet from heaven. Taxation without representation is tyranny. The time for petition and compromise is over.
Mr. Adams, Mr. Rogers returned to come back with us here.
Thank you, Miss Ruggles. Well, it appears the governor is willing to grant anything consistent with the laws and his duty to the king, but orders that the vessels cannot leave unless the cargo is unloaded, as the law demands. Boston, what say all of you to this? Our governor refuses to send us back to England, just as he has refused every petition, every course and recourse to a civil solution. He has forced our hand. We must all decide what to do next. Boston, here, here! And then I turn to you, Miss Ruggles. Miss Ruggles! Don't be surprised, you've done an admirable job leading this meeting. What do you believe should be done for the tea tonight?
Oh, yes. Perhaps if it were up to me, maybe salt water and tea could mix tonight. What say you should be destroying the king's tea?
Yeah! 5,000 of us can do a bit better than that. All those in favor of destroying the king's tea, say aye!
Aye!
All those opposed, none. Moving on. We have a mighty mob in our hands, but I hope a cautious one. For if we destroy the king's tea this night, we may be subject to arrest. Our families, those who harbor us, will know the fullest penalties of the law if we are caught tonight. We must do our very best to conceal our identities.
And how should we do that, Mr. Adams?
Simple clothes will suffice, but let us also use a symbol known to all throughout the colonies. Fearsome, independent, that of the Mohawk tribe. Now rally, patriots! Huzzah!
Boston Harbor and teapot tonight!
It is clear there is nothing more a meeting can do to save this country.
Indeed, rise up, patriots, gather your belongings. We storm to Griffin's Farm! The tea, say aye! Aye! If you come to cast off the oath of duty, say aye!
Aye!
If you come here to be arrested, say aye!
Aye!
No.
No.
That's why we're going over this now. Very good. Yes, we do not want to get arrested because what we are doing is treason. And does anyone here know what the punishment for treason is?
Death.
Why are you all excited about it?
Because we want to watch it.
I mean, public hangings are very exciting. I take my children every Sunday, but you don't want to be the main event. Right? You do not want to be the main event. So we have to keep our wits about us. That's right. We have some dangers in this very body of water. 3 huge Navy ships 500 yards that way. Of course, it's so stormy. You can't see them. Look at me. Very dark. Now, they do have a few cannons pointed at us. Not to worry. They would not fire on us unless we tried to steal the ship and sail it back to London. I don't know how to sail. She doesn't know how to sail. I'm too poor. She's too rich. We don't have to worry about the sailors. But we do have to worry about each other. I don't want any of us bragging about this event. I don't want anyone to spill the tea. So, I am going to make us swear a solemn oath of secrecy. See, there's the Navy right now. Very scared. Very upset. Don't be nice to them. No, stop it. All right. So, we are going to take a solemn oath of secrecy. Everyone raise your right hand. Very good. Now, please repeat after me. I swear.
I swear.
I was not there.
I was not there.
Good. I trust you. Now, my friends, I have assigned one of these chests to this lovely young child here, and I would like us to have some more child labor here this night. So, do I have any children ready to steep the salty brew in Boston Harbor? You, my dear, come take over right this way. What about you, my love? Would you like to do some treason? Very good. Just like Very good. Yes, you, my dear, take that one right over there, my love. You, my darling, take this one. Parents, make sure you blackmail these fine children. Yes. And now, my friends, we are all going to count down from 3. They are going to throw these chests over, and we are going to give them a big, loud, encouraging huzzah when they do. So everyone, please start with 3. Ready? 3,
2, 1, huzzah! All right. Praise it.
Children, that was so exciting. And now we have... glass, furniture, spices, books, but we are just here for one thing, which is tea. Very good. You see these chests of tea here in the middle, also in the aft or the back of the vessel as well. These chests of tea would be 400 pounds. Yes, not 40, 400 pounds of pure tea. And we'd have to get these heavy chests of tea up above decks. We would do that using a block and tackle or a rope and pulley system, tying ropes around these chests and hauling them up above. Once they were above decks, then we would have to take out our hatchets. We would peel back this white canvas. Then we would break apart the wooden chest. And then we would peel back a third waterproofing layer, which was a nice layer of lead. For your health and safety. You're welcome. And then we would see that loose leaf tea, which we would have to scrape out of the chest, throwing over the side, breaking apart those wooden chests, and throwing that over the side as well, because we wanted to destroy every single bit of evidence, making it seem like they had never sent tea to us in the first place. And this would take anywhere from 3 to 3.5 hours to destroy all 340 chests of East India Company tea, dumping 92,000 pounds of the stuff into Boston Harbor in just one night. And that would be 10,000 pounds sterling with the property damage in my day, but in your day that is 1.3 to 1.5 million dollars. I know, that's like a semester at Harvard. And now, my friends, we are going to continue on our journey so everyone here can destroy their tea and explore the ship. My friends, on this side, you are the port side. My friends, on that side, you are the starboard side. My starboard side friends, I'd like you to say hello to our sailors in the front of the ship. So go ahead and about face, which means look towards the front. Very well done. My friends, on this side, you are going to follow our boarding party leaders as they storm into the back of the ship. Exit the captain's quarters. That room is the first base. Not jail, not bathroom. First mate's button, and the first mate was the captain's son. No, I have to share with my children. It's not comfortable. Not meant to be comfortable. As you know, sir.
The game at the beginning, you will find yourself amongst this list, and to highlight a few of you, one of the very first to start talking is a young man by the name of Joshua Wyatt. Oh, I know, Mr. Wyatt's 15 years old. He's very excited about his first treason, so realistically, how long do you think he can keep the secret? Actually, he keeps it 53 years. You come forward in 1826 in collaboration with your 50-year anniversary of some sort of declaration. You give about 4 or 5 odd names, and you've had a clever little nickname. Your account is the first publishing of the term, the Boston Tea Party. It is shortly followed by a George Roberts 12. You was a shoemaker in Boston. You come forward at the age of 93 and give about 40 names in the back of a manifesto you published. Conveniently, you only mentioned your lovely wife 4 times. It is also rumored of the passing of one Benjamin Pease. A list of about 60 names is recovered from his desk drawer, but that wasn't his failing. He had passed on and they started rummaging stuff. I will say tonight that we are in the exact same body of water of Griffin's Wharf. In fact, if you look across the bay, there's a red brick building with green windows, now aptly named Independence Wharf. That is approximately where Griffin's Wharf would have first extended from. This parallel street, Atlantic Avenue, simply called as such because that's where Atlantic Ocean started. In fact, Boston has expanded about 70% from my colonial time. Most of it had giant hills and mountains that were pushed into the ocean, built on top of, filled out the lower lying estuaries. So we had thrown to you in the exact same spot 250 years later. I think we throw it into oncoming traffic, so we're as close as we can get. Now we are going to flee to the days to come.
Yeah, good for that, right?